Don't!
Hey there. You know who threw that can?
What can?
How about you, sweetheart? You know who threw that can?
I didn't really...
Thank you, Mom.
At the beginning of the story, it is shown that a woman is driving through a quiet stretch of road outside a small town in Missouri. She notices 3 large billboards standing abandoned on the side of the road. These billboards have not been used in years. Nobody advertises on them anymore because very few people take this road. But this woman sees them and something clicks in her mind. She pulls her car over and stares at those 3 empty boards for a long time. Then she makes a decision that will turn the entire town upside down. Her name is Mildred Hayes. She is a divorced mother of 2 who works in a gift shop in the small town of Ebbing. 7 months ago, her teenage daughter Angela was raped, set on fire, and murdered. Her body was found on the side of the road. And in all those 7 months, the police have not made a single arrest. Not one suspect. Not one lead that went anywhere. The case has gone cold, and Mildred is consumed by a fury that will not let her rest. Mildred goes to the advertising company that owns the 3 billboards. There, she meets a young man named Red Welby. He tells her that the billboards on Drinkwater Road are available because nobody uses that stretch anymore. She can rent all 3 for $5,000 a month. Mildred hands him the money and gives him the content she wants displayed. She also insists on a contract that prevents him from renting those billboards to anyone else for a full year. Red agrees. He has no idea what he has just set in motion.
That'd be perfect.
Soon after, the billboards go up, and what they say shakes the entire town. The first billboard reads, "Raped while dying." The second reads, "And still no arrests?" And the third reads, "How come, Chief Willoughby?" These 3 messages, read one after another, form a devastating public accusation aimed directly at the chief of the Ebbing Police Department, Bill Willoughby. Mildred is calling him out by name. She wants answers. She wants justice for Angela, and she is willing to humiliate the most respected man in town to get it.
The year? How long she actually paid for?
The year?
So it's a she, is it?
Liberty to divulge that kind of information, Chief.
Mildred Hayes.
Ain't at liberty to divulge that kind of information.
He said what?
He got you there, sir.
Take him down. Take that shit down. Take what shit down?
You think I wouldn't take you out right here on Main Street, Red?
I thought you only took... Stop it! You ever fucking touch me? You drunk? Nobody ever goes down that road anyways.
The billboards immediately attract attention. A local reporter named Gabriella interviews Mildred, who states bluntly that her daughter has received no justice and that the police have failed her. The story spreads through the town like wildfire, but the reaction is not what Mildred expected. Instead of rallying behind her, the town turns against her. Because there is something everyone in Ebbing knows, Chief Bill Willoughby has terminal pancreatic cancer. He is dying, and the people of Ebbing feel that Mildred is attacking a good man in his final days.
You all right there, fella?
Looks like we got a war on our hands.
Willoughby himself goes to visit Mildred. He is calm but frustrated. He tells her that he has done everything he can. The DNA recovered from Angela's body does not match any criminal in the national database. There are no eyewitnesses. No leads. He even tells her that testing every man in the town would violate civil rights, and besides, the killer could have been someone just passing through. But Mildred is unmoved. She tells him that every minute he spends arguing with her is a minute he could spend finding the man who raped and killed her daughter. She tells him that maybe if he catches this man, someone else's girl will be saved. Willoughby leaves, knowing he has failed to change her mind. There is another officer in the department who takes the billboards very personally. His name is Jason Dixon. Dixon is an immature, heavy drinking officer with a violent temper and a reputation for racist behavior. But he idolizes Willoughby. He sees the chief as a father figure, and the idea that someone would humiliate him publicly fills Dixon with rage. He goes to Red Welby and tries to intimidate him into taking the billboards down. But Red explains that Mildred has a legal contract and there is nothing he can do.
I'm up next. Ain't about time you got home to your mama, Dixon?
No, any time I'm going home to my mama.
Meanwhile, Mildred's life is not getting any easier. Her son Robbie is angry with her. He tells her that every time he comes home and sees those billboards, it reminds him that his sister was raped and murdered. The wounds are ripped open fresh every single day. He wants to move past it. He wants to heal. But the billboards will not let him forget. Mildred understands his pain, but she cannot let this go. Not yet. Not ever.
So why don't you just finish up your tea there, Father, and get the fuck out of my kitchen?
Thanks for coming up anyway, Father.
The tension in town escalates when Mildred goes to the dentist. This dentist is a supporter of Willoughby and he makes no effort to hide his contempt for Mildred. During the appointment, he threatens her, but Mildred does not flinch. Before the dentist can do anything, She grabs his drill and drives it straight through his thumbnail. Is there anything that will make this woman back down? It does not seem like it.
Hey, visit to the dentist today, did you? Huh?
I heard no.
So it wasn't you who drilled a little hole. Big fat Jeffrey's big fat thumbnail. Huh?
You drilled a hole in the dentist?
So we're gonna have to bring you in, I'm afraid.
After this incident, the police bring Mildred to the station. There, Chief Willoughby talks to her. During their heated conversation, Willoughby suddenly coughs violently and blood sprays from his mouth, hitting Mildred in the face. It is a shocking moment. Mildred's expression changes instantly. She jumps up from her chair, wraps her arms around Willoughby, and calls him her baby. For just a brief moment, the two enemies see each other as human beings. But the moment passes. Willoughby is hospitalized, and the cancer continues its relentless march. Now the story shifts into a flashback. The day Angela was killed, she had asked her mother for the car. Mildred refused. A terrible argument erupted between them. Angela stormed out of the house, saying she would walk and she hoped she got raped on the way. And Mildred, in a moment of anger she will never forgive herself for, said she hoped so too. It was the last thing they ever said to each other. This memory haunts Mildred more than anything else. This guilt is the fire that drives her.
I will walk. I hope I get raped on the way.
Well, I hope you get raped on the way too.
She cannot bring Angela back, but she can fight for justice. At his mother's suggestion, Dixon decides to put pressure on Mildred by arresting her friend Denise on minor drug charges, claiming she had 2 joints on her. He tells Mildred that if she wants Denise released, she should take down the billboards. Mildred refuses. Meanwhile, the $5,000 Mildred paid for the first month has run out. Red calls her to his office and tells her that if she wants the billboards to stay up, she needs to pay again. But Mildred does not have the money. The rent she paid initially came from selling her ex-husband's old tractor. Just when it seems like the billboards will come down, Red's assistant walks in holding an envelope. Inside is exactly $5,000 in cash. Someone has anonymously paid for another month. Red has no choice but to keep the billboards up.
Saying the price of next month is paid in full and all?
Sure, man, sure.
Like now.
On the other side of town, Willoughby knows his time is running out. After being released from the hospital, he spends one beautiful, perfect day with his wife Anne and their 2 young daughters. They go on a picnic. They laugh. They hold each other. That night, after his family falls asleep, Willoughby goes outside and shoots himself. He cannot bear the thought of his family watching him waste away. He would rather leave on his own terms. But before he dies, he writes 3 letters, one for his wife, one for Mildred, and one for Dixon.
What the hell's going on around here? What?
The news of Willoughby's death devastates the town, and the person who takes it the hardest is Dixon. Blind with grief and rage, Dixon storms into Red Welby's office. He blames the billboards, he blames Mildred, and he takes it all out on Red, beating him brutally and throwing him out of the 2nd-story window onto the street below. But Dixon does not realize that someone is watching. The new police chief, a man named Abercrombie, sees the entire assault. He walks up to Dixon and fires him on the spot. Just like that, Dixon is suspended and disgraced. With Willoughby gone, the entire town now despises Mildred. People who once stayed neutral are now openly hostile.
You know who threw that can?
What can?
How about you, sweetheart? You know who threw that can?
Thank you, Mom.
One day, while Mildred is working in her gift shop, a stranger walks in and threatens her. But then Willoughby's wife enters the store, and the stranger backs off, and has come to deliver a letter, the one Willoughby wrote to Mildred before he died. Mildred opens it. In the letter, Willoughby tells her that he is sorry she felt he did not care about her daughter's case. He did care, deeply, he just could not find the evidence. But he also tells her something that changes everything. He writes that her billboard idea was brilliant, like a chess move. He knew that after his death, the whole town would blame Mildred for driving him to suicide. So to protect her from that blame, he was the one who anonymously paid for the extra month of billboard. He did this so that people would not connect his death to the billboards. It was his final act of kindness toward a woman the whole world was turning against.
Which is why, for Willoughby's countermove, I decided to pay the next month's rent on. The joke is on you, Mildred. I hope they do not kill you. So good luck with all that, and good luck with everything else. I hope and I pray that you get them.
That same night, Mildred drives home and sees a horrifying sight. Her 3 billboards are engulfed in flames. Someone has set them on fire. Her advertisements, her message, her fight for Angela, burning to ashes. Mildred rushes to put out the fire, but the blaze is too massive. She watches helplessly as the billboards are destroyed.
How those hands? Give us an
perfect.
Can I ask you a couple of questions?
Take me down and arrest me.
I'm not gonna arrest you, Mrs. Hayes. I got nothing to arrest you for.
Not yet, you ain't.
We ain't all the enemy, you know.
Meanwhile, Dixon receives word that Willoughby left a letter for him too. He goes to the police station late at night to collect it. In the letter, Willoughby tells Dixon that he knows Dixon is a good person underneath all that anger. He writes that Dixon lost his father too young and carries too much rage because of it. But if Dixon can let go of that hatred, he can become what he has always wanted to be, a great detective. And the key to all of it, Willoughby writes, is love. Because love brings peace of mind, and peace of mind allows you to see things clearly and think about the world the right way. At this exact moment, Mildred is also on a warpath. She is convinced that someone from the police department burned her billboard. She wants revenge. She calls the police station to make sure nobody is inside. When no one answers, she grabs bottles of gasoline, lights them, and hurls them through the window of the station. But what she does not know is that Dixon is still inside, reading his letter with headphones on, completely unaware of the world around him. The gasoline ignites and the station erupts in a massive explosion. Dixon sees the flames closing in around him. In a split-second decision, he grabs the case file of Angela Hayes from a nearby desk and fights his way through the inferno. He crashes out of the building, his body engulfed in flames. And by chance, a man named James, a local who has feelings for Mildred, happens to be passing by. James rushes over and puts out the fire on Dixon's body, saving his life. Dixon is badly burned and rushed to the hospital. And fate has a cruel sense of irony, because he ends up in the same room as Red Welby, the man he beat and threw out of a window just days earlier. Red cannot see Dixon's face because of the bandages. He asks Dixon if he wants a glass of orange juice. Dixon has tears streaming down his face. These are not tears of pain, they are tears of remorse. After reading Willoughby's letter, something has broken open inside him. He tells Red the truth, that he is the one who threw him from the window and he is sorry. Red says nothing for a long moment. Then he quietly says not to cry, because the tears will not let the wounds heal. He gets up, brings Dixon a glass of orange juice, and hands it to him gently. Without saying it directly, Red has forgiven him. After everything Dixon put him through, Red finds it in his heart to show mercy. The next morning, Jerome, the man from the billboard company who originally put up the posters, comes to Mildred's house. He tells her that when billboards are destroyed by accident or vandalism, the company provides replacement copies free of charge. Mildred and her friends put the billboards back up. The police also release Denise from custody. Slowly, things begin to shift.
Still want to put up the Willoughby one, him being dead and all?
Why not? He paid for it.
After Dixon heals and is released from the hospital, he goes to a bar one evening. Two men are sitting at a table nearby. One of them starts bragging. He says that a few months ago, he raped a girl, and describes the experience in disturbing detail. Dixon recognizes the man. He is the same stranger who came into Mildred's gift shop and threatened her. Dixon's mind races. Could this be the man who killed Angela? He steps outside and writes down the license plate number of the man's car, which is Idaho plates. Then he goes back inside and sits down right across from the man. Dixon says calmly that the man has nothing to fear from him. He tells him he wants to show him a magic trick. Then, without warning, Dixon rakes his fingernails across the man's cheek, digging deep scratches into his skin. He needs the man's blood and skin under his nails. He needs a DNA sample. The man and his friend beat Dixon savagely in retaliation, but Dixon does not fight back. He has already gotten what he came for. On another evening, Mildred is out at a restaurant with James, who provided her alibi after the police station fire. Her ex-husband Charlie walks in with his new girlfriend, Penelope, a 19-year-old girl. Charlie approaches Mildred and confesses something. It was him who burned the billboards. He was drunk that night and did it in a rage. He is sorry about Angela's death, but he believed the billboards were not the answer. Mildred is stunned. She had assumed the police were behind the arson and she firebombed their station as retaliation.
Well, I'll take care of this little lady, okay, sport?
You all right?
I think I want to go home now.
She targeted the wrong people. When Charlie returns to his table, Mildred picks up a bottle of champagne and walks over to him. Charlie braces himself, expecting her to smash it over his head. But Mildred gently sets it down on his table. She looks at Penelope and says quietly to take care of her, because somewhere she is the same age as Angela. Then Mildred walks away, shaken by the revelation about who really burned the billboards. She abruptly ends her date with James, who misreads the situation and leaves upset.
And I'm the one who's not a catch.
Hey!
You know, I didn't have to come and hold your ladder.
The next morning, Dixon comes to Mildred's house. He tells her about the man in the bar, how he heard him bragging about raping a girl, how he collected a DNA sample, and how it is being tested in the lab right now. He tells Mildred not to lose hope. Then he leaves. Mildred stands at the door and says, "Thank you. It is a remarkable moment. Not long ago, these two people hated each other. Dixon represented everything Mildred despised about the police. And Mildred represented everything that made Dixon's world fall apart. But now, somehow, they are on the same side. But when Dixon goes to the station to get the DNA results, his heart sinks. Chief Abercrombie tells him he did a good job collecting the sample. However, the DNA does not match the man who raped and murdered Angela. In fact, this man was not even in the country when Angela was killed. He was overseas on military duty. Abercrombie suggests that the man was probably just boasting, talking tough without having actually done anything. Dixon is devastated. He goes to Mildred and delivers the news. Mildred's face falls. The hope she had allowed herself to feel crumbles. She asks Dixon if he truly believes this man is innocent. Dixon tells her that the man was definitely not the one who killed Angela, but he also says that the man bragged about raping someone. Whether it was Angela or another girl, Dixon heard it with his own ears. This man has hurt somebody. The next day, the two of them make a decision. They are going to drive to Idaho, where the man lives. Dixon loads his gun. Mildred gets in the car. As they drive, Mildred tells Dixon something she has been holding inside. She is the one who set fire to the police station. Dixon does not flinch. He tells her he already knew. Who else would it have been? Mildred then asks him if he really wants to kill this man. Dixon pauses and says no. Mildred says she does not know either, but they will figure it out on the way.
Dixon, are you sure about this?
Yep. About killing this guy. Not really. You?
Not really.
And with that, two broken people, a grieving mother who burned down a police station and a disgraced officer who once threw a man out of a window, drive together towards something that is not quite justice and not quite revenge. They do not know what they will do when they get there. But for the first time, they are not alone. And sometimes, that is enough.